Today we got a nice push day. I'm gonna go train some upper body, focus on bulletproofing our armor, really trying to put on some mass on the shoulders, the chest, and just get a nice push day, nice pump. We haven't done that in quite a while, so it's nice to be able to focus on that. Gonna do some glutes as well, so we can strengthen the posterior chain. When we're out there on the rugby field, we want to be able to absorb force, want to be able to apply force, and I want to be able to push the defenders into the floor, and also be protected, injury free, and making sure that we're just nice and healthy through the season.
I used to train hard, but I wasn't training smart. And my lower back, it began to pay for it. So since going through my injury, I've completely reestablished my methods of trainings and how I go about it. Everything that I do now, I'm focusing more on my technique, the form over the weight. Also in my training, I focus a lot more now on stress management and making sure that I can be calm and I can truly enjoy these lifts rather than just going in here and stressing myself through it, feeling like I'm forced to be here and just enjoying the process rather than forcing my way through these weights. So in the first workout you saw, we were doing some rows. Switching to chest supported rows, it is now taking the pressure off my lower back and it's actually now allowing me to train my back properly. I feel doing these things with a pad, just a little bit of extra support while I'm throwing up some weight has helped me significantly. And the same thing goes with the pressing. Here you see I'm focusing on control instead of just throwing the weight around. So for both of these, I have moderate weight, a weight that I can actually control rather than just um, something very, very overwhelming. With the shoulder press, I think I was doing maybe 30s. With this lateral raise, you see I'm freaking doing like 10 pounds. Is that 10, 15? Oh, more than 15 pounds, probably 10 pound. And that's realistically all you need. Like these power lifters and these bodybuilder influencers, they tell us you have to lift something so heavy that's in that that's in the 4 to 6 rep range, something so heavy. But bro, in those rep ranges, you're not even controlling the weight. So you got to remember to leave your ego at the door and do something that you can control. With a much lower weight, I'm able to do much better form and I'm able to do a lot more reps. Shout out my dog, came through. See, it's one of my rugby teammates at Old Blue. Ended up coming through, joining the lift, and it was nice to have a partner coming through. So here, I'm back on the roads. As you can see, you got another angle. I think it's honestly, it's so much more comfortable on my lower back doing these with chest support. This allows me to really, one, get a better contraction in my rear delts. I'm able to squeeze a lot tighter and just feel that a lot better in my upper back. And I don't have to worry about this super heavy weight, just like me trying to stabilize that with my core immensely. And I still use a moderate weight that feels nice. But again, the same goes with the overhead press. Like I could do these standing, and standing is nice. I mean, it's nice to engage the core. But if I were to go really, really heavy on these, it'd be really detrimental towards my low back and my core. But even here, I'm trying to see what we got on. I think they're like 35s, no more than 40. Yeah, probably 35s. I'm doing shoulder press with, and it's just nice. I'm just trying to do slow and controlled reps. I could have done them even slower on the descent, but it's just I'm trying to get a proper blood flow, a proper movement. I'm going through these and I can feel that mind to muscle connection a lot better. Here, I think this is the best angle on the chest supported rows. Like you see, really pulling the elbows back. My core is straight because of the pad itself, the incline bench. It's forcing my body to stay straight, and I can really just focus on the pull. Before this, doing like dumbbell rows, any sort of heavy row, even sometimes pull-ups, like you can feel a big pull on the core. I feel all that weight there. But adding in the chest supported rows, it just feels a lot better. And honestly, I'm a lot more into pull-ups than I am rather a row. And it's nice because I do feel that these rows, they do help you develop a nice dense back. And so it's nice to be able to get back into this without injuring anything. I think that's something that's really important as athletes is we must remember, yes, we're trying to grow, but we're also not trying to neglect any of our other muscles and sacrifice anything. For example, like we're always programmed to do these really, really heavy squats. And yes, squatting or squat movement is it's extremely important. But what's the point of squatting on this heavy weight if you're gonna mess up your lower back? If you're starting to be achy after every single time you're squatting, if you're feeling very, very tight and like you can't move when you go to rugby practice, you're like, yo, my back's kind of getting up on me. And I mean, maybe I'm feeling this because I've done years of heavy squats in my youth. From like 15, 16 to my early 20s. It's just heavy squats, man. And like, yo, I know I'm strong, but like throwing all that weight on my body without reason. I mean, I could have just put on slightly less and did some more reps, doing stronger repetition. And that's still a form of progressive overload, is doing more reps, more volume, more time under tension. It doesn't just have to be more weight. So yeah, I was happy my bro came through because ended up doing some incline press as well. And I did it like, I think we were doing 60s. That is far more weight than I usually would use. And I know if you're watching this on the video, they're gonna be like, yo, what the hell is this guy talking about? I could do 60s, 70s, like 80s like it's nothing. Sure, you can. So can I. But I'm not going to. I'm going to choose a weight that I can actually control. And even the 60s felt a little bit heavy. And maybe that's a sign I gotta get back into my weights and my chest press a little bit more. But still, I want to be able to control the reps. We're doing 60s for like 8 to 10 reps. And yeah, still got some improvement to go, but I'm glad I did it. So this was the second day of my training. That was day one. That was me getting like an upper body lift. This is more of a legs and yeah, a lot more legs. Did some compound movements. But right here is the glute bridge, or a hip thrust. I never did hip thrusts in the beginning of my trainings. I just felt like, I don't know, they were more for girls, or like, shoot, like I could get a better emphasis out of squats. But I now see, after a disc herniation, after messing up the low back, you see that it's very important to have a strong ass, man. It's very important to have strong glutes, especially if you're a rugby player, a football player, a basketball player, literally any sport. All the power comes from your glutes, and so it's vital that you train them directly and that you learn how to contract and just build a big support system for your back. Here we had some, the hanging leg raises and some core raises or whatever. And that's also a nice movement that I could have implemented a lot more in my prior athletic history, but I'm excited to bring them back in now. With those, I was, shaking a little bit on the bar, and I think a way there I could have improved was just been keeping my back stable, taking slower time under tension, really trying to control when I was bringing my knees up, trying to keep a flat back, and then going down slow. Um, I've been implementing that a lot more in my more recent training, but I'm excited. I'm doing them. I'm starting to recognize where I can improve. And at the end of the day, it's performance over no performance. It's doing things over just watching and wishing. So this is proof. I'm in here working. I'm doing what needs to be done, but there is a lot more room for growth. Back on the glute bridges, I'm not doing nothing super massive weight. I really like these reps that I'm on now because you see I'm going down slow and I'm holding them at the top. I try to hold them for like 5 seconds, man. Ain't nothing crazy on. I got a 45 on and a 25 on each side. So I don't know how much this weight is. Probably about like 135, 120, 100 to like 140 pounds. But it's appropriate weight. It's really, I'm trying to feel this in the glutes, not in the low back. In our glutes, we want to feel strong. We want to feel activated. We want to feel a pump there, because that even translates to when I go and do these trap bar deadlifts now, and I feel my glutes are activated. And now when I'm lifting this, it's not so much targeting my lower back. A lot of people, when they go into the trap bar deadlift or deadlift in general, they feel it heavily in their back. And I feel a lot of that has to do for them not warming up their body properly, not taking care of themselves, not activating themselves as needed to be. You have to remember, we're like a machine, man, and everything, all our muscles, they're aligned with each other. And if one thing is out of whack, if one thing doesn't have blood flow going on, you're gonna send a lot more pressure to another muscle group. So if your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads aren't warmed up nicely, where do you think that's gonna go, man? It's going to your back. It's gonna be locked up in your calves, man. So you really got to take care of yourselves. And I believe here too, I feel like I could have maybe did some more ankle mobility, maybe a little bit more longer in the sauna before heating everything up, because I felt like, my calves were a little bit tight doing these. But I mean, we're getting it up. I haven't been on deadlifts immensely in some time. because I know that if you're doing them improperly, they can definitely impact you negatively, but there's a correct way to do them. So here I am. I'm just trying to keep my body a lot more upright, and it's keeping myself safer. Um, I really like these. I feel like you can go a little bit heavier, so I got on 225. It's just nice because it reminds me of the time when I was putting up such heavy weight. And I think I do even go up a little heavier here. Let's see. Yeah, we go to 275. And this is like, honestly, I ain't really touching weights like this, super often. I'm like in that calisthenics area again. And, just remember being like 16 years old, 17 years old, and doing like freaking 315 for like 5, 6 reps, even 375. Shoot, doing 405 for the first time, and like it feels freaking awesome. But it's also at what cost, man? At what cost? To please our ego or to actually become a stronger, more mobile, more durable athlete, more explosive athlete. And yes, I'm all for those the low rep ranges, doing very heavy weight at times, but there's a time and a place for it. Right now, I'm not at that time of my life. Right now, it's about getting stronger, developing, building the back again so that it can take force, building up our core. See, I didn't think I did any core workout in this exercise, and that's dead not okay, man. Core should be something that's utilized every single day. In my more recent trainings, you're gonna see I'm implementing a lot more, and I still will continue to build there, building up my durability. But again, the point of this video is you don't have to stop training hard. You just have to train smarter. Um, be wise about what you're doing. Have a game plan when you're coming into your lifts, and leave the ego at the door. Like, yeah, we're all strong, bro. Like, this is just picking up a weight, especially as men. Yo, we can pick up a lot of weight with our legs, but at what cost? Is your back gonna be straight? Can you actually control the weight? Is this something you can maintain, or are you just doing it to prove people wrong? Um, so yeah, great workout, great lift. If you like this type of content, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Also, remember to put your weights back. Peace.